No time to fear, Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
They live public lives, but should they have private deaths? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about so much more on today's Karel Show, including we just lost another one. Yep, we just did, just now.
Now it's showtime.
It is the Karel Show. I am Karel, so very glad you are joining me. We just lost another one, ladies and gentlemen. 80 years old, another 80-year-old. And no, it's not Donald Trump, and I know we all wish that it were. Oh, I have something on my face. How could you let me have that? How could my dog let me come on here with chocolate on my face? Or whatever this is. What have I been doing? Rimming a Smurf? What is it? It's right over here. Do you see it? Am I disfigured horribly for the rest of my life? Okay, whatever. Probably God knows what. God knows what, really. All right, so we start the show on another bit of sad news, and that is that 80-year-old Tim Curry has passed away. Frankenfooter from the original Rocky Horror, the clown from It, the butler from Clue, the original Clue, Mr. Homolka from the movie Congo, and so many other roles. Tim Curry, a fabulous actor, always sometimes played a weird character, did it very well. Passed away this morning at 80 years old. We don't know of what yet. And of course, I am still not over Dolly Parton. I know that sounds odd. We weren't best friends. I didn't know her. But I am not over her loss. Because Dolly Parton was probably one of 10 people in the entire planet that everybody liked. Nobody disliked Dolly Parton. Nobody. There's not anyone out there saying anything bad about her. Nobody disliked Dolly Parton. And so here we are, the day after her death, where everybody was so moved by it. And it's made me think so much about mortality. Tim Curry, 80. Dolly Parton, 80. I'm 63. So what? I got 17 years left? That's not that far. Not that much at all. So it's made me think about mortality. Jack Nicholson said it to Vanity Fair about 20 years ago when they asked him about aging. And he said, the one thing that really sucks is that all of your friends and icons begin to die and don't stop. And he said, no one warns you about that when you get older. No one says, hey, once you reach 60, your friends and your icons are going to start dropping like flies. But they do. And today, with Tim Curry's passing, yet another person I grew up with. I saw Rocky Horror in my teens. I was like probably 14, 15. 1976, 77, somewhere around there. And it became a sensation, and I've done the Time Warp countless times, and the Midnight Movie, and the whole thing. And then he went on, of course, to other roles, and now he's gone. People say, oh, well, it happens in threes. Well, then we know the third one that we'd like it to be. But with Dolly Parton chose happiness. It was a choice. Now, you're going to say it's easy to be happy when you're rich. But no, it's not. Look at Elon Musk. He's a miserable fuck of a human. Dolly chose to not be a billionaire. She could have been. All the songs she's written, all the money she's gotten, she could have been a billionaire. Instead, she chose to give that money away. Do you know what she did with all the money to I Will Always Love You, that when Whitney recorded it and made her a total of $16 million in publishing? Never would have happened today, by the way. See, this is what I'm saying about how the music industry is dying. Dolly Parton made $16 million off of I Will Always Love You because she was the publisher. She wrote the song. But would she make that today with streaming? Nah, she wouldn't even make a fraction of that. But she empowered a neighborhood in an inner city. That's what she did with the money. And she said it was her way of giving back to Whitney and to Whitney's community. She sent over 200 million books at a time when Trump is cutting, including her imagination library he cut. What did she do? She just went and got the money somewhere else. She chose happiness. She chose optimism. She chose humor. And she chose love. And and subsequently no one's talking ill of her as she's died. I want that. I want that. But
if you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel. Stream You Have to Be Proud wherever you get your music and let it fill you with the pride it filled me in doing it.
You have to be strong.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
So we have these high-profile deaths, and everyone says the third is Hayden Panettiere. It could have been Hayden Panettiere, and then Dolly Parton, and then Tim Curry. By the way, there's a name for humans finding patterns in random things. More than 3 people have died in the last week. And more than 3 famous people have died in the last week. We just heard about these 3 the most. But one of the things on social media that I did that's getting a lot of comments and a lot of discussion, there was a 29-year-old adult male film star. You guys wouldn't know him. I didn't know him. He's handsome. I guess you don't do porn if you're ugly. They should have ugly porn. Instead of OnlyFans, ugly porn. Probably make a fortune. But anyway, he died. And they posted it on social media under Pink News. It was a company or a website called Pink News. And I posted under there, I am so tired of them posting about people dying and not telling us how. Particularly when it's a 29-year-old. Because if you don't tell us, we're going to automatically assume drugs, alcohol, whatever. Suicide. See, Dolly's people yesterday did something very rare in today's world. They released her cause of death before the end of the day. Now, Dolly probably found out that she had cancer and kept it from her fans. Why? Because in her mind, being the optimist that she is, or was, she probably thought, I'm going to beat it. I'll beat the cancer, and then they'll never have to know. I'll just tell them I was feeling poorly, and now I'm feeling better. In her mind. And then she figured if I don't beat it, well, I'll die, and they'll know that I had it anyway. But after she died, the family released that she had gone into the hospital 4 days previous, and that she had a short bout with cancer. She would have made the joke if it was breast cancer or she was a goner. But so we don't wonder, like, how did Dolly die? We know. Cancer, complications from cancer. Kidney failure is what she went in the hospital with. So, and that could have been from the chemo. That could have been from, we don't know what caused the kidney failure, and autoimmune issues. Again, those could have been complications of chemo. But we at least know. So under the 29-year-old's post, I put news outlets should be as thorough as they can be about the cause of death. And families that say, oh, we would like privacy. We're not going to release the cause of death. It's like, wait a minute. This is a public person, okay? Public people don't get private deaths. I know they maybe like that. I know the family would maybe like that. But when you're a public person, and when Andrew died, the next day in Variety, I opened up and saw his obituary. They had his cause of death wrong. They had it listed as possible complications of AIDS. It was not. It was a pulmonary embolism. Actually, it wasn't even a pulmonary embolism. It was a blood clot in his heart. It didn't start in his lungs. And so I released the cause of death as soon as I had it. As soon as the autopsy was done, I released the cause of death to the media so they could get it right, even though Dennis Prager still insisted it was AIDS, and I wanted to punch him in his smug little fucking face. But I just don't understand how families call for privacy when the person's whole life was lived in public. You don't get to live a public life and then die in private. That's not how it works. And if you don't like that, become a banker, become a grocery store clerk. Don't be a celebrity. Because when celebrities or famous politicians die, we're going to want to know how. And in news agencies, I mean, with Michael Jackson, we knew it was propofol within a day. You know, we've got to stop this, oh, they're dead, and not telling people why. Well, that has gotten over 200 likes. I am not the only person that is tired of news agencies saying, oh yeah, they're dead, but not telling us the why, the where, the how. They tell us the what, they're dead. But what about the where, the when, the why? That's called reporting. But of course, no one does their jobs anymore, particularly when it comes to reporting. So what do you think? Do you think, because I believe if you live a public life, when you die, your family has a responsibility to tell your fans, to tell the public how it happened. Even if it's embarrassing. I mean, Elvis Presley died not on the toilet, but he started having the heart attack on the toilet, fell off, crawled to the door, died on the way to the door in the bathroom. Now, I'm quite sure he wouldn't want us to know that, be talking about that, but it's how it happened. The truth is the truth. Now, when you're 29 and you die, it's not natural causes. You know, everyone's like, with Dolly, it wasn't natural causes. 80, she was going strong. She was a healthy 80-year-old. You know? So it wasn't. You know, and someone said, fuck cancer. I said, you know, I used to say that too, fuck cancer. But cancer is us. Every day we make cancer cells in our bodies. Every day. And our immune system takes care of them until it no longer can. The word cancer is assigned to any fast group of growing cells. Malignant. Your body makes new cells every day. Some of them are flawed. Some the body destroys. Others the body says, oh, I think I can fix that cell. I'll put it to the side and get to it. But then when it puts it to the side, that defective cell starts multiplying quickly. That's cancer. Cancer is a defective cell that multiplies quickly. That's what it is. All chemotherapy does is kill the fast-growing cells in your body. That's why you lose your hair, your nails, because those are the fastest-growing cells. So when you say, fuck cancer, what you're really saying is, fuck my body. Because your body is growing the cancer. It does not come from an outside agent. It doesn't come from above. It's malignant cells in your body that are reproducing faster than your immune system can take care of them. That's all cancer is. So it's not really fuck cancer, it's fuck science. Why hasn't science cured this by now? We know what cancer is. We know how it starts, how it spreads. We know now what the most prevalent ones are. And we're just now getting to cancer vaccines. A new one released for pancreatic cancer today. A new drug which extends the life to double, which only takes it from like 12 months to 24. But if that's you and you're given 12 more months, you'll take it. Glioblastoma multiforme kills you in 12 months. No medications, no treatments. Why? We have data centers now everywhere. We have massive computer brains thinking all kinds of stuff. They can't solve cancer? Of course they can. And it's time. It's time to put every data center on the planet to work solving the cancer problem. Because no one should die of pancreatic cancer. No one should die of glioblastoma multiforme. These are just fast-producing cells. No one should die from their body turning on them. I mean, I know we all have to die of something, but cancer is not something we should die from. It should be fixed. And science should fix it, and fix it fast. Not just because of Dolly Parton. There's many great people, from, you know, the waitress at your favorite restaurant to the mom of your favorite fourth grader, that have in fact died from cancer and shouldn't have. Science needs to fix this. And there is great work being done. There is a vaccine that's getting approved. If you take it, if you have melanoma and you're on Keytruda and they got rid of your melanoma, you take this shot with your Keytruda and your melanoma will not come back. And now they're saying they can do it with other cancers, to where you have breast cancer, you get the tumor taken out, you have whatever lymph nodes are involved taken out, you get your chemo, you're done. Then you take this shot and this Keytruda and you never have to worry about breast cancer coming back. That's how it should be. And yes, it took AI and gene sequencing to do it, but that's what it's good for. That's what we should be doing with AI. That's what we should be doing with gene sequencing. So people don't have to die of these horrible diseases. But when they do, I really feel, if they're a public person, that their people owe it to all of us to tell us how they died. Especially young people. Like Hayden Panettiere. She was like 34, 35, I think. 36 maybe. Well, then how did she die? Was it an OD? Was it alcohol? What? How did she die? Then they released it like 3 weeks later. Oh, cause of death finally revealed for... And I know that tox reports... I had to wait 3 weeks for Andrew's tox report. I get it. I know how long they take. So, oh, Karel, you don't know any... Yeah, I do. I went through it with Andrew. I had to wait for the toxicology report, even though we found the blood clot and knew that it was a blood clot. So I get it. But they owe it to us. I mean, the universe took Dolly way too soon. We should know why. Now we do. Cancer. It is absolutely... Yes, James Schnabel. This is right up his alley. There is a gentleman in my chat room. His name is James Schnabel. He was a pathologist, which means he diagnosed cancers. He was in the lab portion of it. The person who actually looked at the cells and said, yes, this is cancer. No, it's not. It's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, whatever. And he just said there has been great progress in mRNA technology. Yes. Yes. And that's what I want my computing power going for. mRNA technology, which Dolly Parton helped pay for. She gave $2 million to Moderna to help develop mRNA vaccines. As Donald Trump was cutting funding, as no one was trying to pay for a COVID vaccine, Dolly Parton did. She did so many wonderful things. We should all just strive to be like Dolly Parton. It really made me examine the show. You know, how would Dolly Parton do a talk show? Well, she tried and it didn't really go well, but, you know, what would she concentrate on? I think she'd concentrate on the good stuff. I don't think she'd sit here every day. You know, I heard David Pakman say that after the midterms, if the Democrats win and Trump doesn't try to stop them, which he already is, I heard that David Pakman, I don't know if it was in jest, but he said that they were going to try to move away from talking about Donald Trump after the midterms. And I thought to myself, God, wouldn't I love to do that? And then I thought, well, what's stopping you? And the answer is fear. You see, I have to rely on Patreon. I can't survive without the Patreon. I can't. It is now part of and it needs to be at least $1,000 a month. And to keep it that way, I can't just do a vegan cooking show or just the people that pay for the show, my boss, they like the political content. I don't. Not anymore. Especially after yesterday. Dolly has shown me that if I want to die and be thought of as a kind, generous, giving, happy person, then I must live every day like a kind, generous, happy person. Talking about the terror of Trump every day does not make you a kind, generous, happy person. It makes you sad and angry. And I'm not jiggy with that anymore. That's just not who I want to be. I want to be more like Dolly. I do. I want more laughter in my life than sadness. She had a lot of laughter in her life. Cher was asked by Gayle King, what will you miss most about Dolly? And Cher said her laugh. Cher, who has now lost Dolly Parton and Tina Turner, and her husband. She suffered a lot, and her mother. Cher suffered a lot of loss in 82 years. Of course, haven't we all?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel. You know, Pride Month was rough this year. We had a lot of hate heaped upon us from Trump, from MAGA, and from other governments around the world. And if you are a trans person, you are really going through a particular type of hell right now. That's why when I was thinking of my next single in June, I sat down and I wrote, "You have to be proud." You have to be proud, with anger so loud, streaming everywhere. Keep fighting, keep singing, keep dancing. We're gonna win.
To be strong.
Now it's showtime.
Are you liking? Are you subscribing? Are you going to youtube.com/reallykarel and hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe? Right, Miss Ember? Is that what's happening? Because that's what should be happening. Now, I've only had 3 hours sleep. Let me tell you what happened last night. I was in the kitchen getting Ember's treat bowl ready for us to play ball. I realized I had not taken my nighttime pill, my ibuprofen blood pressure pill. So I get my little Monday through Friday container thing and I pop open the evening and I plop it on my tongue, along with the doxycycline, because I take that for rosacea. If I didn't take it, my nose would be bright red. Those are the only 2 drugs I take, ibuprofen and doxycycline. And I put them on my tongue, and I thought sure that I felt both of them on my tongue, and I take my water. I did not look at the pills on my tongue. I should have. So then I move a towel from the counter, and when I do, I hear something drop on the floor, and it sounds like a pill. I immediately look down, and Ember's down there because I'm chopping up a bone that I bake for her. Not an animal bone, a peanut butter pumpkin homemade bone. And I chop it up. And so she's down there in case something falls. And so I'm thinking a pill fell. And I can't tell if I took it or not because I've already swallowed. And so did she get it or did she not? 70% chance she didn't, 30% chance she did. So we play ball, and I agonize while we're playing ball. And finally, after 20 minutes, I call the emergency vet. And the emergency vet says, before you bring her in, since it's a human drug, you need to call the pet poison helpline, tell them what she took or what you think she took, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions, and then they'll tell you whether you should bring her into us to have her, induce vomiting or use charcoal or what we should do. Because we don't have a list of every human drug and how to treat the dog that the pet poison control does. I'm like, okay. So I called Pet Poison Control. It's $90. I'm not making that up. Before they'll tell you if your pet's been poisoned, it's $90. Oh, but they keep the case on file, and if you have to go to the vet can call them for the information on what to do and all this other crap. But I didn't care, paid the $90. I said, okay, she's a 15-pound, otherwise healthy dog. She took maybe, I don't know that she did, but if she did, she took 75 milligrams of ibuprofen, a blood pressure pill. And she said, oh, blood pressure pills are the number one things we get calls about. Number two is cannabis. So she asked me some more questions and we talked. And finally she goes, okay, I've got some really good news for you. And I said, what's that? She said, unless she ate 4.5 of those pills, we don't even recommend inducing vomiting. I said, what do you mean? It's double the dose they would give to a dog. They do give these pills to a dog. And she said, yeah, but therapeutic dose and toxic doses are different things. So while it is double the dose that a dog her size would get, it's still not lethal. She said there was a wide range on that particular drug. So she said, monitor her. And I said, well, we go to bed in a half hour. She said, well, wake up every 2 hours and make sure that her blood pressure hasn't plummeted, that she's can be roused easily, that she'll stand up, that sort of stuff. So we go to bed at 10:30. 12:30 I wake up. She wakes up. But she then started having stomach problems like she's had in the past that have kept me awake. The smacking of the jaw and gas. Did she stink? Oh my God. She farted so many times last night and it was so rank. Oh my God. The whole bedroom. I was like, oh girl. It's like something died up in there. It was terrible. But I felt bad for her because she didn't feel well. And I don't think it was the pill. I think it was another gastro thing. So 12:30 I wake her up. 2 o'clock I wake her up. And then neither of us can go back to sleep. She just moves around the bed, gets up and looks off the bed, smacking the jaw, farting. So from 2 o'clock until 4:45, I was awake. Went to sleep, got up at 5:30. Here I am. It's why I'm a half hour late. Everything is late this morning because I didn't sleep. She woke up, she ate, she pooped, she peed, she ran in the park, she did everything she's supposed to do. So even if she took the pill, she's good. But I thought of Dolly Parton during this, and you know why? If I were Dolly, the Pet Poison Control would not charge anybody $90 at all. If you call there and your dog or your cat or your gerbil or whatever has eaten something and you think it's poison, you shouldn't be charged for them to tell you if it is poison and what to do about it. That information should be free. So if I were Jeff Bezos, it would be. And that's what I mean. You know what? We hate billionaires. And one of the reasons we hate them is they don't do anything good with their money. There's so much good these people could do for the world. Oprah could empty the animal shelters. She could finance and make every animal shelter a no-kill shelter. She has billions of dollars. So does Elon Musk. So does Jeff Bezos. So does Warren Buffett. So does Soros. So do so many. Last night I thought, if I had $1 billion, no pet owner would have to pay $90 to find out if their pet was poisoned. She told me to watch Ember. If anything happened, to call back. She said, don't induce vomiting. Don't rush to the vet. She's taken 1/4 of the lethal dose. She said, you'll probably not even notice anything because she'll be sleeping. So if her blood pressure does go down, it's not enough to make it bottom out and kill her or affect her kidneys or anything like that. But what a night. No sleep. I slept from 10:30 to 1. And then that was it. 1:30, I woke her up. 2 o'clock, she woke me up. And then she didn't go to sleep again until 4:30. And so neither did I. What a night. What a night. But she's here this morning, and she's functioning. I'm here, and I'm functioning. So as Dolly says, I can feel the light of a brand new morning. Or is it I can see the light of a brand new... I think it's I can see the light of a brand new morning. I can feel the light of a brand new day.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Stream I Dance Because on all services.
The song is very, very personal to me. And the video now is very touching to me. I cried the first time. I cry all the time. But I cried the first time I saw it. We all have somebody, whether it's someone that's passed from AIDS or some other thing. We all have people that we danced with, and that's why we dance.
Stream I Dance Because on all services.
Now it's your turn.
Thank you in the chat room, because it was agonizing. I didn't know if I should rush her to the vet. I didn't even know if she took the pill. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know if she even took it. And then when the lady told me, she would have to take 4.5 or 403 milligrams before it even got worrisome, that was supposed to put me at ease. But then she says, but watch her, because in rare cases, she can get tachycardia, heavy breathing, lethargy, she could get wobbly. And I'm like, here you're telling me, oh, it's okay, stay home. But you're also saying you better watch her because this, or this could happen. Oy. And I couldn't get past the $90. I mean, she's insured. I could make a claim for the $90. But it's like, people shouldn't have to pay that. And it's the same with people, isn't it? You know? You go to the ER, they ask you for your credit card before you're even taken in the back. That always will amaze me. How healthcare for us or our pets or anything, money comes first. That always just amazes me, how the money comes first. Then we'll talk about your care. I thought Ember was poisoned. I thought every minute on the phone was a minute I'm not rushing her to the vet to throw up. And yet I got to take time to punch in my number, punch in my expiration date, punch in the security code, punch in my zip code. I was like, you're wasting time. So yes, and I think anyone with a dog or a cat worries about dropping a pill. It obviously happens so much that there's a whole poison control center set up for people who drop pills or dogs get into them. Yeah, she said the number one thing was blood pressure pills. The number 2 is cannabis. Now that more people use cannabis. Steve's dog ate half a gummy one night. Valentino. He was high. Oh, he was high. He lived. He was fine the next morning. But, that night he got all wobbly and got all high and all paranoid. The vet would have just put him on an IV. We checked. We're like, well, what would the vet do? And they said, well, for cannabis, they just put them on an IV and watch them. And Steve's like, I'm not going to spend $900 for that. So he kept him home, and he did okay. He did fine. But yeah, pets, they get into stuff. They're like kids. They just do. For the love of money, people will sell their precious body. Well, Dolly's gone. Tim Curry is gone. Here we are on a Wednesday. I don't know if I'm doing this gay week tomorrow because I haven't heard from Scott. Kyiv has been under attack. Donald Trump is busy trying to fight for his ballroom. Did you hear the latest? He said if his name can't go on the front of the Kennedy Center, he's going to tear it down. He said that. Yesterday, they said that the remodeling and the repairs are so extensive that perhaps a complete demolition is called for. The Kennedy Center. And a judge could stop them, but if they do what they did to the East Wing and just tear it down first and ask questions later, then yeah, a judge would say, no, you don't have the right to tear it down as it sits in rubble. He literally said, if they don't put my name back on the front of the building, I will tear it down. He said that yesterday. You know, this morning in the park, it's so sad. To show you the thing, not one person said anything bad about Dolly Parton. Not one person. There's not been one person. Oh, MAGA's upset because some liberal podcasters and such have said, how dare MAGA and Donald Trump say they love Dolly Parton when they didn't. Because Dolly Parton paid for vaccines, the mRNA, and they defunded them. Dolly Parton gave books to 200 million children while they defunded her and school book programs. Dolly Parton loved and supported the LGBTQ community while they make laws against us. So a lot of liberals were like, you didn't love Dolly Parton. You certainly didn't like what she did with her money. I say that Dolly was a unifying force.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel, and I want to invite you to stream my new single, You Have to Be Proud, on Swishcraft Music. You Have to Be Proud by Karel. Go stream it, go march to it, go wave your rainbow flags and piss off MAGA to it. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself and others we are stronger than ever and they can't have our pride.
To be strong.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
All right, Iran won't allow military vessels to transit through the Strait of Hormuz under an agreement with the Islamic Republic that it is negotiating with Oman. The top diplomats of the two countries, Iran and Oman, met to discuss managing commercial shipping traffic in the vital waterway, which remained shut down 6 months after the Iran war began, and how many days after we have declared victory. Meanwhile, Israel strikes in Gaza continued, testing the fragile ceasefire with Hamas, meaning Israel is still committing genocide. That's what that means. So Iran and Oman have reached an agreement on new framework for managing ship traffic in the Strait that would exclude military vessels from traversing the waterway. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi told state television late Tuesday that commercial shipping traffic in the Persian Gulf from the Gulf of Oman would pass entirely through Iranian waters, while the outbound route would pass partially through Iranian waters and partly through Oman's territory. He said the route would be temporary and that Iran and Oman must discuss a permanent maritime traffic plan within 30 to 60 days. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to bomb Oman if it gets in the way of his administration, which opposes parts of the evolving deal. So here we have Oman working with Iran to try to reopen the strait. And you have Trump saying, we don't want your help, and if you keep it up, we'll fucking bomb you. People. The U.S. president said during an interview on Wednesday that he thinks Ayatollah Khomeini is seriously wounded but not dead. If he is, they're putting on a pretty good show. Well, we think Mitch McConnell's dead. Mojtaba Khomeini became supreme leader after his father, Ayatollah Ali Khomeini, was killed. The younger Khomeini was badly wounded in the attacks and has remained out of public view. So Trump was asked, do you think he's dead? And they said, no, we think he's alive. Some parents said children in Gaza are dismantling their kites after Israel threatened to ramp up strikes as the toys keep flying into southern Israel. They're going to kill people in Gaza over kites. In the past, kites and balloons have been set aflame and launched across the Gaza border, igniting fields and property in Israeli-occupied territory. Wow. Well, so that's not good news, is it? The strait is still closed, gas is still expensive, food is still pricey. Isn't that something? Dolly Parton's unreleased gay anthem. She has an unreleased gay anthem? Well, where is it? Where is it? Her career. See, I hate stories. I hate this. The headline is her gay anthem. They haven't mentioned it in 5 paragraphs. You know? Family. There it is. Okay, is that unreleased? Technically, she did. She did. Back in 2014, Parton expressed her desire to put out a dance record. Wow. She noted that she had several songs that are very positive towards the gay community. She had one called Just a Wee Bit Gay, which she described as a great little dance tune. Never got released. I bet it will now. Colorado joins 25 states in suits against the U.S. Postal Service over mail-in ballots. They're trying to challenge what happened in the Supreme Court. Judge allows Trump mail-in ballots. What else is in the news? Philly's masked man taken into custody in Las Vegas. Oh yeah, did you see this guy? He wore this really sick mask and attacked people. Prince Harry and Meghan have arrived back in the UK 6 years after leaving royal life behind. Good for them. I'd go to the UK too if I could afford it. Joe Lombardo. Nah, he didn't do it. Nevada sues in federal court to block Colorado river cuts. Yeah, of course they are. I mean, after all, we got to have water, right? Dollar and bond markets on edge ahead of Jackson Hole as Besant's market intervention piles pressure on Warsh. Does anyone know what that means? Hollywood summer box office is glowing, but only from 3 movies. The Odyssey, Spider-Man. I don't know what the other one is. Medication mix-up leaves knee surgery patient paralyzed. You know that I've done so many shows about medical mistakes being the number 3 cause of death in the country. So these people, they went to have knee surgery, and they got injections that were supposed to be anesthetic, and instead they were potassium injected directly into their spine. Potassium, high dose, directly into their spine. Their spine didn't like that. They're now paralyzed. You go in for knee surgery, you end up paralyzed from the breastbone down because they injected the wrong medication. Every time I'm in the hospital, and when I was in the ICU, before they injected anything, I made them show me the bottle. Oh, I was a pain in the ass. I made them show me the bottle. If they walked in with a syringe already pre-made, I said, show me the bottle that came out of, please. And they're like, what? I said, I want to see, physically see with my eyes what you're about to put into my IV, please. Well, I'd have to go get it. Well, then go get it. I did not take any pill or let them give me any shot in the IV that I did not physically see the bottle. You have that right. Many people don't know this, but you have that right. And I made sure that I checked for this very reason. St. Thomas Midtown. Yep. In wherever this is, Nashville. Nashville hospital admits pharmacy error in incident, leaving at least one paralyzed. The pharmacy mixed up the drugs. Instead of anesthetic, they sent potassium. Oh, can you imagine? You know, we need a national inquiry into medical mistakes. We really do. You can't win in court. They'll win. But if you sue, you can't win because most juries are sympathetic to the doctors because they don't want to believe that doctors could be wrong. So if you try to sue, it's an uphill battle. And maybe you win, maybe you don't. And they've capped how much you can win, $250,000. That's how much a dead person's worth. $250K. Yep, that's it. Take your whole life from you. Take your husband, your wife, your sister, your daughter, your husband. And then they say, oh, well, that's worth $250 if you win. Punitive damages, they can give more, but juries often split on those. So yeah, Nashville Hospital injecting people with potassium, paralyzing them when it's supposed to be anesthetic. Isn't that something? We need a national inquiry. Well, we're not going to get it. We need so many things. But under Donald Trump, all we're getting is crap. You know, that's all we're getting. Someone won $140,000 on bingo here in Las Vegas. Isn't that something? $140K on bingo. The Cheesecake Factory is closing locations. So, there is not one healthy item on the menu at the Cheesecake Factory. I've been. And they don't have vegan options that are any good. But when I was not a vegan, oh my God, their food was delicious. But literally one meal is like 5,000 calories. Not making that up. There's one of their meals, I think it's their chicken Alfredo or something. It's 3,900 calories. And then they have a dessert that's 1,900 calories for just the dessert. So if you have the Alfredo and the dessert, you're at 6,000 calories or 3 days worth of calories. The Cheesecake Factory should be out of business. Just go back to selling cheesecakes. Why Pride is facing a backlash from inside and outside the gay community. See, that's a myth. There is no one in the gay community backlashing against Pride. And if they are, it's a very small group of people. I hate how they get pressed for this. It's wrong. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about how some gays just want to be LGB and they don't want to be LGBTQ or LGBTQIA. They just want to be LGB. And that's their big backlash. That's what the backlash is. Oh, Lord. So the other thing I want to talk to you about today is a lawsuit that has gone on. And it was settled today. Meta, Zuckerberg, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, they have decided to pay California and several other states $16.7 billion. So, again, that figure, it boggles your mind. Alexa, what is 16.7 billion divided by 340 million?
16.7 billion divided by 340 million is approximately 49.1176.
So basically $50 for every American. So, yeah, seems small, doesn't it? But when there's 300 plus million Americans, that's, yeah. So $16.4 billion is how much money per day for 1,000 years? Alexa, if I have $16.4 billion, how much money can I spend every day for 1,000 years?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Why not? Alexa, if I have $16.4 billion, how much can I spend every day for 1,000 years?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
You know, ChatGPT will tell me in a moment. That's why Alexa is useless. That's why I love ChatGPT more. If I have $16.4 billion, How much can I spend every day for 1,000 years? So that would be, oh, I guess I spoke too soon about ChatGPT. Let's see, 52 cents a second, $31 a minute, $1,800 an hour, $44,000 per day, 1.37 million per month, 16.4 million per year for 1,000 years. Okay, that's how much money. $16 million a year for 1,000 years. That's how much money. Wow, $16 million a year for 1,000 years. That's how much money Mark Zuckerberg has agreed to pay the states. Why? Because they sued saying you made a product that is purposely addictive to kids and to everybody. It's addictive. And it is harmful. It is harmful and addictive. And here's the thing. They proved it in court enough to where Meta said, okay, we give, we'll pay. Almost $17 billion. Meta agreed Wednesday to pay $17 billion and add stronger child safety measures to Facebook and Instagram as part of a landmark legal settlement that ended a trial over teen social media addiction, filed by 47 states. The settlement is a pivotal case in sought to hold the tech giants accountable for their role in undermining children's mental health. I argue it's not just children. The effort targeted features designed to hook people's attention. For years, Meta intentionally deceived the public about the addictive and harmful design that have wreaked havoc on our mental health. This will put an end to these dangerous practices and deliver meaningful relief that will protect us from online harm. That's bullshit. They're just going to change the algorithm. But here's my thing. We now know that social media, including Instagram, which I am broadcasting on right now, we know that it's bad. It's bad for you. It's bad for our mental health. So that begs one simple question. And we'll ask that when I come back. So don't go anywhere. Except, of course, to my Patreon, patreon.com/Really Karel, where you can become a patron for $5 a month. It'll really help. Or youtube.com/Really Karel, where you can like and subscribe. Or Karel Official on Instagram and feed the evil social media. Yeah.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
Now remember, the word is F-U-N-K, funk, honey. Do you want a funk? Hey, it's Karel. Go stream Do You Wanna Funk, my tribute to Sylvester, everywhere you get your music. Karel, Do You Wanna Funk?
Now it's showtime.
All right, we are back. I was just stretching my back out. My question is, if you create something that is so addictive and so harmful that you have to pay $17 billion to 47 states that sued you, why are you allowed to still do business? This is what amazes me about our lives. The Catholic Church, time and time again, convicted of pedophilia, convicted of hiding pedophilia, convicted of harboring pedophile priests and shielding them from prosecution. Been proven, okay? Proven. Time and time in almost every city in the world where there's Catholics. So why is the Catholic Church still allowed to exist in our country? Why is it still here? We act like they've magically stopped. They haven't. So why is the Catholic Church still here? It's harmful. They act like a political organization. They try to dictate public policy, who could get married, who can't, who can have an abortion, who can't. They're certainly a political entity, and they're the largest child rape ring in the world. So why don't we shut them down? Because they worship some zombie? Because they worship some murdered guy on a piece of wood? Because they're delusional and drink his blood? They're cannibals. Not only are they pedophiles, but they're cannibals. Have you ever been to Catholic Church? I have. When you go up and get the Eucharist, what do they say? Body of Christ. They put it on your tongue. That is literally supposed to be his body. Then they say blood of Christ, and they give you a little sip of wine. And that is literally supposed to be his blood. The priest, it's called the transmutation. The priest is supposed to turn it in to the body and blood of Christ. And with this offering, he said, take this cup, each of you, and drink from it. For this is my blood, the blood of the new and everlasting covenant. Do this in memory of me. That's what they say. And then Christ said to his disciples, take this and eat from it, for this is my body. That's a cannibalistic ritual. And they practice it. And then their priests go and screw the altar boys. And we let them exist. We know Facebook and Meta are bad for all of us. I have put time limits on mine now. I can only be on Instagram 10 minutes a day. And then I get locked out. Parental locks. Because I was being on there 2-3 hours a day. And I was feeling bad about myself. Like, why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing something more productive? Why are you? And then I realized because it's designed to suck you in. It is doing things to your brain that you're not even aware of to keep you here in front of it. And it's effective. It works. And now they've proven it. They've proven that Zuckerberg and others created algorithms to keep you addicted and engaged that harm your mental health. And now I don't have to not say that. They have to pay a $17 billion settlement because they did it. So why isn't it shut down? Why don't we ever shut down things that harm us? I don't get that. Well, because it's social media and we lived without it. I'm 63 years old. We lived without social media for 45 years. We were fine. We were great. And someone would just start a new one. Someone would start one that's like all news agencies. So you log in, you see a scroll, it's all news, vetted, real news agencies, not some Joe Blow calling himself a news agencies, real accredited news agencies. And yes, independents could be accredited, absolutely. But they would be accredited, they would be real. And you'd be reading real information and real news. Instagram could go back to being what it was for photographs. That's what it was. It was actually a check-in app. Instagram used to be a social check-in app where you could check in. That's what it was. That's how it started. It wasn't even called Instagram. And Facebook could go back to just being about you and your family connecting. Period. No advertisements, no news feeds filled with, products or news that you don't need or fake news. All Facebook is now is lies. I see so many untrue stories on there all about Barbra Streisand all the time. And they're fake. They're just fake stories. They had an AI thing where Barbara and Celine were going on tour with Bette Midler. The Divas Tour. It would be great. It's not happening. It was a lie. It was fake. People were actually thinking it was real. So social media could change into something that's useful, but no. So $17 billion being paid But the damage is done. Kids have committed suicide over this. Online bullying, addiction, being addicted to it to where that's all they do all day long, all night long. Lives have been ruined already. Then they get to pay a fine. I mean, $17 billion to Meta, I think is probably nothing. I don't know what Meta is worth. Alexa, what is the Meta company worth?
As of 11:25 a.m., Meta Platforms traded at $577.02 on the Nasdaq, up 1.2% since previous close.
So it's $577 a share. Alexa, what is the Meta company's net worth?
As of 2:25 p.m. Eastern, Meta Platforms market
It's giving me the stock.
$1.46 trillion US dollars.
$1.4 trillion. So $17 billion isn't even the tip on the check. It's not even 15%. Because 1.7 trillion, 10% of that is 170 billion? Is that right? Yeah. So they're paying 1%. I am Karel, be who you want to be, so I'm the Hungry Buddy. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with This Gay Week. If not, then we'll be doing is the era of the influencer over. We'll do one of the two things tomorrow, so tune in.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Show